Hi, it's Christina with the Sisyphean Journal, responding to podcast of the Lotus Eaters. And I'm going to link below to their video, Compassionate Infanticide is the Greatest Act of Love. They talked about abortion clinics wanting buffer zones where the pro-lifers aren't allowed to talk to the women. And they said it's because they want to obfuscate what abortion actually is. And that's part of it. The underlying reason is that if the pro-lifers are outside, even if all the pro-lifers are doing is praying, not even talking to the women, you have a bunch of middle-aged women out there with rosaries praying, women will leave. They've got a higher rate of no-shows if the pro-lifers are outside. And if there's any, no business likes to lose customers. So they want to keep the pro-lifers away from the clinic because they don't want to lose customers. And there are a couple of approaches they take when the pro-lifers are there. One, of course, is just to keep the woman away from the pro-lifer so that she can't talk to them. And the other is to have the volunteers snatch anything away if the women do take the handouts the pro-lifers are giving. And I've got a very interesting story about that. When I was the Feminist for Life contact for Pennsylvania, I got a phone call from a woman in Philadelphia who up until very recently had been an abortion clinic escort. She said she went in, and when they had their escort volunteer training, the volunteer coordinator told them, do not let the women take the materials the anti-choicers are handing out. And if they do take the material, take it away from them. Don't let them bring it in and read it. And I forget the woman's name. I'm going to call her Susan. Susan said, well, aren't we about choice? Shouldn't they be allowed to read any information that they want to if they voluntarily take it? And the coordinator said, it's full of lies and misinformation. It's not actual useful information. It's lies. So Susan said that she followed instructions. If any woman took any materials from the pro-lifers, she took the materials away from them, saying this is dangerous and full of lies. But then she took the materials home because she wanted to be able to specifically counter it. She wanted to be able to counter the lies with accurate information. And she told me she went to the library and she looked up neutral sources and found out that the stuff in the pro-lifers pamphlets was actually accurate, and the stuff that the clinic was saying wasn't accurate. So the next time she went in, she said to the volunteer coordinator, I went and I looked all this stuff up, and I found out that this isn't misinformation and lies. So why would we not want the women to have access to this information? And the volunteer coordinator was like, because they don't need it. Basically, if they read that, they might decide not to have their abortions, and that's against their choice. And Susan was so outraged by this, she became pretty much an instant pro-life convert. And she had the contact information for the reporter at the Philadelphia Inquirer that the clinic usually sent press releases to. And she made an appointment to talk to him and to his editor. And she went in with the materials the pro-lifers were handing out, and she had the stuff the clinic was handing out, and she had the neutral third-party information. And she laid out for them that the abortion clinic was handing out false information and taking away accurate information from the women on the grounds that it's lies. But that the pro-life pamphlets had accurate information and the abortion clinic stuff had false information. And she said that the reporter and the editor were like, oh, this is very interesting. Thank you for bringing this to our attention. Can we keep these materials? And she said, yes. And she says to me, and they're still printing the lies. And I just started laughing. And she said, what's so funny? I said, did you really think anything was going to change because you personally caught on? And she's like, oh, I guess you're kind of used to it. I said, yeah, they don't care what the truth is. But at any rate, the bubble zones are about not losing customers. So it's not just that they don't want the women to know about the baby that the abortion is going to destroy. They don't want the women to know about the procedure. They don't want the women to know about resources that are available to them. They don't want the women to have anything other than the bullshit that the clinic feeds them. So it's blanket. They don't want the women to have anything that might lead them to reject abortion.